I don't know about you, but I got a bit overwhelmed about these things. Smartphones literally can do anything these days. AI is becoming better and better, and as well a nice competitor in the creative world. And at least me, I started missing those moments where I was going around with a dedicated device for every specific use. You know, going around with an iPod, a Game Boy, and maybe a disposable camera. And talking about that, I started using a small point-and-shoot film camera as my daily camera for the last 6 months. And so far I can say this is the best decision I've made since I decided to use less and less my iPhone as my main device for everything. You know, every year I do a bit of cleaning just to start the year with a fresh mind and in a new mindset. It's like cleaning your desk every morning before starting actually working. So I was clearing up some space from my iPhone when I noticed that I had like 30,000 photos and videos. A lot of them were just photos of my wife or of my dog, but I also had a lot of useless garbage, like screenshots, photos I took about moments I do not even remember, to be honest. And I mean, the iPhone is a device that comes with me wherever I go, mainly because I can do everything with it. I mean, it's been developed just for this specific reason. But you know, sometimes I miss these days where I was going around with a sling, carrying around an iPod with headphones with a cable, maybe a Game Boy with Pokemon Red on it, and yeah, a film camera. And I say that because every day we are bombed by new gear, new cameras, new lenses, incredible AI features of Will Smith eating spaghetti. And I don't know about you, but every new release feels like less authentic. The design is boring, minimal, less dials, and people is afraid of scratching it. It's afraid of using it. And I think that's because they put so much effort in making new designs, new minimal designs. And I don't know, maybe I'm just overwhelmed about all these things. But at the same time, I started refusing it. I mean, I don't want to sound like anti-tech, but I miss when there was a specific tool for a specific task, when the device or the tool was supposed to be used and scratched. So in a wave of pure nostalgia of the past days, when life was feeling a little less clean and minimal, I bought a small point-and-shoot camera that quickly became my favorite daily carry. And sorry, by the way, for the changing lights, but I'm just shooting with sunlight. It was cloudy and now it's sunny, so. Anyway, this is my Olympus Mew 2 and it comes with me everywhere I go. Actually, I started taking 90% of my daily photos on this. Of course, I still use my iPhone if I need to send like a random photo to a friend of mine, but for my personal stuff, this is it. I know it might sound a bit of a constriction, and I will explain why I'm going more towards single-purpose use devices. But now, let me just talk a bit about this camera. So this is the Olympus Mew 2, and I don't know if I pronounce it properly because it sounds like the Pokemon to me. Anyway, there is no particular reason why I chose this camera. I simply heard good things about it. Yeah, it's a bit overpriced to be honest, but there are a few things that I really like. Generally speaking, I love its form factor. It's quite small for a film camera, and so far for what I know, there are just a couple of other models that are even smaller or just smaller like this one. I bought it for around $200, and yeah, it's quite expensive, and I know there are cheaper models to be honest. Everyone has its own pros and cons, but this one is actually the only one that meets my expectations and my needs. Before buying it, I used another cheaper camera that I already own and it's actually right behind me. And it's this Kodak here, which I really like. It's a half-frame camera, but I don't know, it doesn't fit my workflow properly. So the most important feature for me about this camera is it actually fit in my pocket. And I mean, as a daily carry, this is probably a must. And yeah, sometimes I carry it around with my sling, but if I have to go around in my neighborhood, this is just fits in my pocket and I'm just good to go. And the reason why I prefer this one over the Kodak one, it's actually the lens. This camera has a nice, very nice, sharp 35mm f2.8 lens. Yeah, it's sharp, it's quite fast to be honest, because the 2.8 It's a good addition. And also the 35mm, I think it's a good choice for a daily lens. It's versatile enough to shoot like portraits or food photography or like daily moments. There are more things I really like about this camera, and one of them is the built-in flash. It's actually automatic. So when you turn it on, it's set to auto, which for me at least is the most practical use, because I just don't have to think about if I need to use the flash or not. I just press the shutter and that's it. But the good thing is actually I can dial in if I want to turn it on or off, depending on the situations. I can still do it. But yeah, having it on auto, this is just a good thing for me, because for example on this one I still need to turn it on and off manually, and sometimes I just forget. But my favorite feature about this camera, and probably is the main reason why I specifically picked up this one, is actually I can mark the date on the photo. At least for me, the main struggle when taking film photos of daily moments and not like particular moments, it's how quickly I forget about these moments. I don't remember where I took it or when I took it. So having the possibility to mark the date on the photo, it's kind of helpful to keep track of this photo. So yeah, I kind of like this feature here, because at least when I look at these photos, I can remember in which month it was shot. Now I know some people faced some issues with this camera, like light leaks or missed focus. So in case you might want to get one, be careful to check that it's actually working. So maybe go there with a roll and shoot it, develop it, and then eventually buy it. Now, as I said, this was the perfect choice because it fits perfectly in my pocket, and for me that's a must for a daily carry camera. But also I'm looking to get a dedicated device for each use. Of course, it doesn't need to be a film camera. It can be even a Ricoh or a Digicam like this one, for example. In my specific case, my main goal was to start taking daily photos of random moments of my life, but with a little bit of extra intention. And I know maybe it's just me, but I'm not that good at taking intentional photos with just my iPhone or with a digital camera. And at the same time, I don't even want to review the photos instantly. And having the possibility to doing it makes me just to want to open the photo and see if it was good, and because if it wasn't good, I can just take it another one. But that doesn't happen with a film camera. But let me go with order. First of all, most of the time when I take photos with my iPhone, I simply go wild. I take photos of everything, even the most useless thing. I mean, it can be a sunset from a window, an object on the sidewalk, or a dog running in the park, or maybe a bug on my balcony. So at least for me, there is no intention behind it at all. And honestly, I don't want to overcomplicate things. I don't want to force my mind to ask myself if this moment is important enough to be shot, to be documented on my phone. And again, I don't want to add more complications to my life. My life is already complicated, so adding more restriction in my mind will drive me crazy. Having potential unlimited storage is a thing, and I'm not so self-disciplined to control myself on a daily basis on such a stupid thing like taking random photos. But when I use this camera, I know I have 36 shots per roll, and each of them has a cost. And just that makes me take photos more intentionally, even just a little bit more. Because I know I can't afford to pay, I don't know, 20 photos per day of useless stuff. And then there is a side thing that I really like about shooting daily moments on film. And that's probably the main reason why I don't shoot it with, I don't know, a Digicam like this one, which is still fun to use. As I said, I don't like to review the photos that I just shot. You know, when I was younger and Facebook, Instagram, Tumblr didn't exist, I was used to gather around with my friends or my family to review the photos taken along a trip or the holidays. But now you can share stories in real time, and somehow there is no magic behind a trip or some holidays or a specific moment. So waiting to see the photos, whether it's just waiting for the scans or for the prints, has a different feeling to me. I discover again a moment, and just for a little bit of time, I feel nostalgic about it. And sharing this feeling with the person you lived this moment, it's even better to me. For example, I took this camera with me along 2 trips last year. The first one was in Iceland in October, where I road tripped with my father. And I was even a bit scared about using this camera because it was the first time I was using it, never tested before, never developed it. So I wasn't even sure it was working, to be honest. Anyway, at that time I shot some photos on my iPhone as well, but once I got the scans back, it just felt different. I never looked back at my digital photos, to be honest. But still today I think the photos that I took with my film camera are so far the best one I ever took about Iceland. Another trip I've done last year, and this time it was November, it was in Edinburgh. This time I shot a bunch of photos using my Sony, my iPhone, and yes, this one. But again, at least for me, the photos I took on this camera feel a bit more genuine. Probably the word nostalgia is a bit overused, especially when talking about film photos. But to be honest, this is the feeling that I have when I look back at these photos. I feel a sense of nostalgia, and that's a feeling that I don't have when I look back the photos that I shot on my Sony or with my iPhone. Anyway, before we continue, this video is brought to you by MusicBed. You know, talking about being intentional with the tools that I use, music is a huge part of that. When I'm editing a video like this one, I want to focus on the story. I want to focus on the emotions that I want to convey with you. The story and its emotions are easy to tell when you have the right music. And that's why I use MusicBed. With its music selection, all curated by real people, the possibility of choosing from collections handpicked by someone who understands emotions and storytelling, well, that's a game changer for me. It fits exactly with what I'm talking about. Choosing tools that feel intentional and maybe not automated. Plus, everything is in one place, music and premium sound effects, so when I'm editing a video, I can get access to the best sound possible. Anyway, if you want to try it yourself, MusicBed has a 14 days free trial. You can use the link in the description to register, and if you like it, you can also subscribe to it. I am at a point in my life where I feel we have too many good things. Camera sensors are great. You can name any brand, they're just great. And the lenses, they're great as well. They get rid of distortions, flare, and they are super sharp. At the same time, AI is getting incredible. Every day I woke up and there is a new feature that honestly, it's a bit overwhelming to fight against AI. Because you can get a professional image in a minute with no effort at all. And I don't know about you, but I'm kinda tired about all this perfection. I miss these days where the design weren't just a gray, minimalistic rectangle, but everything was made of colors. When the sound wasn't lossless, when the headphones were wrapping your iPod and eventually they were not working so well, so you were like tweaking the cable to make it work. And I miss when taking photos was a real intentional moment. When the scope of taking photos of a daily moment was actually to gather around on a Saturday night with your family, with your friends, watching together those photos. So look, all my yapping to say, all this camera world is just incredible. And I get everyone gets excited about the new camera that it's supposed to come out. Everyone is waiting for the Fujifilm X Pro 4 or the digital version of the Canon A1, for example. All of that is super interesting. I love it. But I don't know, maybe I'm the only one that doesn't feel soul in those new techs. Maybe I'm still a nostalgic kid from the 90s. But I think there is something magic about these old physical dedicated devices. And I also think this is why more and more people are looking back to these old devices. It doesn't have to be this Olympus, you know? It can be whatever. But this whatever is part of a choice. The choice of being present in a specific moment. To appreciate the usage of such device. Whether it's a film camera, a notebook. And I think this is the beginning, at least for me, for a bigger shift. An old way of living things. With less scrolling, less subscriptions maybe, but in general, everything filled with the real moments. This film camera is just one piece for me, and maybe your piece is completely different. In fact, if there is a device that you discovered again that makes you feel the same way, let me know in the comments. And in general, if you like this video, be sure to leave a like, subscribe if you are new here, and of course, thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Ciao.